Here we go now, up the volcano with a bleeding knee. Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's do it.
You know, one of the really cool things about running the Iceland Volcano Marathon was that the organizers took us to the Hverfjall, a volcano that last erupted about 2500 years ago. That turned out to be quite an advantage for us runners. You see, before race day, when I still had two fully functioning knees, I was confidently bragging about how I was going to run to the top of the volcano. Then we hiked this trail the day before the marathon, and I very quickly changed my mind. You may also notice that some people are running or standing with a net over their faces. That's because the nearby lake Mývatn literally means lake of midges. Midges are tiny flying insects that don't bite, but they absolutely love buzzing around your face, which gets pretty annoying after a while. But hey, I'll take midges over mosquitoes any day. Oh, and do you see the guy in the reddish shorts running uphill? I met him on our very first evening in Reykjavik. He was from Ireland and seemed like a genuinely nice guy. Unfortunately, I never actually asked him his name, which, in hindsight, probably wasn't my finest social achievement. He was staying at a different hotel, so we didn't get to spend much time together. Otherwise, I'm pretty confident he would have been a great addition to our group.
Fucking hell. Did it.
Still plenty to contest for that. So
No, no, exactly. It's just a scratch, you know.
but very mature.
Yeah. I'll go down in history with this one.
It's just a scratch, you know. Well, that was one painful scratch, and the worst was still to come. Still, once I reached the top of the volcano, I took a short break to adjust my camera, because I'd been holding it in my hand since the very beginning of the marathon. And yes, not testing my camera before starting the race wasn't exactly my brightest idea, but, you know, hey, you live and you learn. Despite all that, running, walking, or in my case limping, along the rim of the Hverfjall is an experience that I believe every runner should try at least once in their life.
Wow. Oh.
So, as I inevitably slowed down on the climb along the crater rim, I thought I'd take a few minutes to talk about the things the camera simply couldn't capture. First of all, the landscape. I'd visited both Mount Vesuvius and Mount Etna when I was younger, but I'd never actually walked along the rim of a volcano before. Standing up there, overlooking the Icelandic landscape surrounding Hverfjall, I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, was simply breathtaking. Growing up in the Italian countryside, I've always preferred mountains and lakes over beaches and the sea, so this was exactly the kind of landscape I love. The black volcanic desert stretching into the distance, the green vegetation, Lake Mývatn, and the silence all around us made this one of the most beautiful places I've ever run through. Honestly, I don't think even Mount Vesuvius or Etna offered me views quite like these. Another thing worth mentioning is my pace. To be honest, I hadn't specifically trained for this marathon. I was relying mostly on the endurance I'd built from completing a 12-hour backyard ultramarathon just 2 months earlier. I did squeeze in a few long training runs in Germany, and then I came to Iceland hoping to finish this in under 5 hours. Then the infamous scratch happened. The pain itself was manageable, but it definitely slowed me down, especially on the downhill sections. As if that wasn't enough, my road running shoes, which were definitely not designed for a trail marathon, kept filling up with volcanic sand and small rocks. That eventually gave me a huge blister under my right foot, which became almost as annoying as my injured knee. To make matters even worse, my phone battery died at around kilometer 30, and somehow I also managed to break both of my water bottles. At that point I was starting to wonder whether Iceland itself was trying to stop me from finishing. Anyway, in the end, I crossed the finish line in 6 hours and 1 minute. It wasn't really the sub 5 hour marathon I'd hoped for, but considering everything that happened to me, I really can't complain. More importantly, I absolutely loved my first trail marathon. I knew it would be tougher than a road marathon, but it turned out to be even more challenging and even more rewarding than I expected. It reminded me that sometimes the best adventures are the ones you don't overthink. You simply sign up, show up, and discover what you're capable of along the way. Alright, now enough talking from me. Let's enjoy the rest of the run along the crater.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh. Thank you.
Good. This way down here.
All right. Don't give up.
Very well, very well. Very good now.
Amazing.
Yeah, you too. Come on, good job.
No, I'll go.
Yeah. 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 Up. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Time is it? Yeah, 29. Let's do half an hour and then I'll stop. Let's go, Sally! Let's go, Sally!
This is Sally from Australia. She also took a fall and scrapped her knee. But she's Australian, and we all know Aussies have to deal with far scarier things than a bleeding knee.
Yay! Yay! Right, we can end it here.